Hey, I'm getting ready for Comic-Con. Basically, they just renamed it, so it's not called Comic-Con anymore. 2022, because the reason that I'm going, besides that it's just generally going to be awesome, is that, guys, there's going to be a reunion of the hobbits, the 4 hobbits, and I am just kind of beside myself. So everything is pretty much all packed and ready to go. My mom and sister and I will be staying in a hotel up there, and I will be vlogging the entire time so you too can appreciate the 4 hobbits together at last in Denver. There are also going to be some other great guests, including Anthony Daniels, who is C-3PO in all of the Star Wars movies. The voices of Kim Possible and Ron Stoppable are going to be there the first day, which is tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, July 1st. So they're going to be there. Matthew Lewis, who plays Neville in the Harry Potter movies, is going to be there. Ming Na Wen, who is not only in Boba Fett, but also is the voice of the original Mulan, is going to be there. Guys, it's gonna be so good. Okay, look how huge this room is. It's humongous. So we think that it might be like wheelchair accessible, but I don't think we officially asked for that, so it should be fine. Everything's huge and nice. Look at this. There's a seating area, and this is just, it's not a suite or anything, but there's a seating area. It's pretty awesome. So even before we get to the con, we're off to a great start.
Question is a two-parter. It's what's your favorite episode from Kim Possible? Oh, now this is working. Okay. What's your favorite Kim Possible episode, and what's your favorite episode from any show you guys have ever been in? Other shows.
No pressure.
Ooh.
You go first.
Okay, I'll go first.
Because I think we have the same episode.
Well, I have a couple. I mean, first of all, I love it's not an episode, it's a movie, but I love when Kim and Ron finally got together. Like, I think by that point Ron's voice was really high and we kind of brought it back.
Oh,
he
yeah.
got like, it was like Eric Matthews, where he started one way and by the end was just completely that same thing. Because I've gone back, I've watched the first couple episodes of Kim Possible, and it sounded kind of almost like me, like, hey Kim, what are we doing? And by the end, he's like up here.
It's morning 2. Day 1, I didn't do a whole lot of vlogging at the actual con because it gets really busy. I was getting the lay of the land. And so today I'm going to be much better, but more importantly, today is Hobbit Day. We're starting out by seeing Anthony Daniels. So I'm Star Wars in the back. As you can see, my sister got me this and I love it. And I'm Hobbit, Lord of the Rings in the front. So starting out with C-3PO, and then we're ending the day with the 4 Hobbit panel. So yeah, it'll be great. We're having a great time so far.
And then left. Oh, see, you know. I'll just follow you.
Okay, so we're walking in. The last time we were here, there was all this kerfuffle about the tickets. We got the wrong ones, and then we had to activate them, and it was this whole thing. But now we're all set. We have our tickets, so we should be able to just get right in. People are showing up with cosplay, as they do. There's some good ones here and there, so I'll let you know.
For being here so early on a Saturday morning. I would have felt very alone without you. So we are part of a team, as it were. And in fact, in all of the Star Wars movies, I normally had a counterpart, haven't I? A friend, R2-D2, just a bright and wonderful person. And I knew that was going to happen. It is the spirit of R2-D2. Yes. I inched out, and now I was out on the sand. The sand crawler was over there, but between us, there was the American crew and the British crew, and a lot of local helpers from the villages around. And nobody had ever seen anything like this before. And the sun was rising there, I remember, because I could feel it hitting the gold suit, obviously reflecting a lot of it, but instantly the heat was coming in. And I kind of sensed that I looked pretty amazing.
It was an absolute dream. It really was. I cannot express to this day the sensation of having your childhood dream become a reality. You know, it's like the best experience that anyone can have, and I hope you all get to experience something close to that. It's wonderful. It's a very serious story, actually. And for them to Disney-fy it in a way where it still kept the core heart of it, but gave it a universal spin, you know, I think it did encourage Disney to want to expand their horizon, and there's so many wonderful stories. And I love Coco, and I love Encanto. I think not just because of its ethnicity, its cultural richness, right? The music, the colors, the food, the language, all of it. It's a good thing, I think. We can all learn. Like, you know, I was a guest at Mando's house. And then with the Book of Boba Fett, Tem and I got to be, you know, the owner of the palace. So that's like the minor difference. But ultimately, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni made everyone feel welcomed and equal, and that we're all important contributors to the stories, and to the characters.
Okay, so we just ran to the Matthew Lewis line. That's what this is. It's for Neville. The expo center at this point is just wall-to-wall bodies. It's absolutely insane. We went to 2 panels this morning. It was Anthony Daniels, who was very strange, but knew lots of stuff about Star Wars, obviously. Dominic Monaghan was supposed to be right after that, so we were sitting there waiting for like 30 minutes. 35 minutes and wondering when he was going to be there, and finally they said he just wasn't going to come. So I was super uptight because I've been a fan of his for so many years. And then it was Ming Na Wen after, and she was inspirational. She was great. She talked about turning things that could be seen as like challenges or detriments into opportunities that make you unique, and she was just like a class act and super awesome. So yeah, Matthew Lewis, and I think we're going to make that our last panel until the 4 hobbits this evening, because we need a break for food and shopping and all that stuff. So yeah, it's going well.
So would you rather be Draco's henchman or Hermione's full-time assistant? Think about that.
Well, no, the assistant would be fine, because I imagine Hermione would want to do it all herself anyway. I'd probably get sit around all day.
Suddenly, a loud thump hits the side of the falcon, causing it to lurch radically. Friedle falls into the pit on top of On.
That was no laser blast. Something has hit us.
Asteroids!
Oh no, Chewie! Set to signal.
What are you doing? You're not going to actually go into an asteroid field.
They'd be crazy to follow us, wouldn't they?
To impress me.
Friedle, come on!
They were kissing.
That's funny. The possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,721.
Never tell me the odds.
Frodo's heroism doesn't really rest in his sword fighting ability. It's more in his ability to withstand the power of the ring. You know, there was a door to like this back sort of counter and vanity and mirror. And that's where Ian was. So he could shut the door, and oftentimes he did. The hobbits, being young guys, we were playing loud music all the time. He put up with it pretty well, I must say, but a couple of times he was like loud slamming for the door. Oh, fuck. Foolish hobbits! We've got to turn down whatever funk or whatever it is that we were listening to.
I've played that P-Funk album too many times.
But yeah, that memory stands out. But man, he was delightful and funny and charming and professional and, you know, an incredible guy. But this person is such an incredibly classically trained actor, but yet was also humorous and personable and sweet and kind and, you know, uncle-lery, or I don't want to say grandfatherly, because yes, he's much older than us, but he also felt like a peer in the most beautiful way. He's the best.
Hello, Elijah. Hi. So my family just absolutely loved Lord of the Rings growing up. It like changed our lives, and we watched all of the extras from the extended editions, you know, for those people. And so I know that there were so many people working on making Lord of the Rings what it was. So what is an aspect that you think is just criminally underappreciated that people don't tend to bring up?
Wow.
Maybe an element of the production was kind of invisible to us on this side of things, but is how Magic was made.
That's a great question. I mean, there are thousands of people that worked tirelessly on those films, sleeplessly oftentimes. And look, I can speak to one thing that is so specific, and I spoke a little bit about this last night, but it's so specific to New Zealand and my experience of working in various countries. There's a sort of vibe in New Zealand, which is to, you know, you're on a film set, everyone kind of, especially in the United States, which is totally fine, very union-based, everyone sort of sticks to their lane. If you're an electrician, you do electrician's work, you don't sort of jump over and like pick something else up from another department, right? In New Zealand, there's a real all-hands-on-deck feel that is incredibly inspiring and lovely to be around. It makes you all feel like everyone's a part of this thing. And, you know, that comes from the top down, right? So everyone felt that way also because Peter is incredibly open and gave everyone the space to, if anybody had an idea, they could, the good idea wins, not what department you work in, which is lovely. So everyone felt a part of it. And thusly, people just wore multiple hats. So the woman who would pick me up in the morning, Zoe, at like 5 in the morning, would also run, she was a production runner, and get people coffee, and she'd go into town and get stuff for the production office, but she was also a stand-in. Like, everybody just kind of did everything in a really pure, beautiful way. And those are the stories that don't, you know, really get told. It's just the things that people did. You know, everyone just worked that hard and would kind of do whatever it took to sort of chip in and help out. And that's really New Zealand. I've not experienced that to that degree since, and it speaks to, you know, their passion, their dedication, their ingenuity of like, I've got a solution. Oh, let's follow that guy and his solution. Just awesome. It's a lovely way to make a movie. And it made it so that everyone felt like we were this big extended family. We were kind of stuck in it together. There was no hierarchy. Everybody just was fucking in the trenches, man. It was gnarly and great.
During our rehearsal period for Lord of the Rings, Bob Anderson was the sword master. I think he must have passed away about 7 or 8 years ago, maybe more. But he taught Errol Flynn and Douglas Fairbanks, and he did the Darth Vader, Ben Kenobi's fight, and he did Princess Bride.
You can kick your fancy ales, you can drink them by the flagon, but the only truth for the brave and true. Tippin! But the only truth for the brave and true.